A Korean man was spotted having sexual relations with a Tesla. 700 Kyles got together in Kyle, Texas, but still didn't break the world record. A member of a Taiwanese parliament ran out of the house with a bill in order to prevent it from passing. These are the weird stories for the Monday on Weird AF News. The Weird AF News is the only daily weird news podcast recorded inside a closet by a comedian in Southern California. A Korean man was spotted having sexual relations with a Tesla. Another autoerotic story on Weird AF News. I have covered many of these stories about hornery men getting it on with vehicles. It's always men, disgusting specimens that we are. Men getting it on with cars. I'm so sorry that I've covered these stories, but you got to give the people what they want, guys. It says here, in a disturbing incident that has left many people shocked, a man was caught engaging in inappropriate sexual behavior with somebody's pink Tesla. So it wasn't even his Tesla, it was somebody's. Oh, I feel bad for the owners of this car. To have your car violated like this, it's just got to make you feel just dirty all over, right? You might have to bring the car back to the dealership and be like, my car is tainted. It was molested. You see what he did to the bumper. This incident took place at the Hyundai department store in Ilsan, South Korea. This explains the low birth rates in Asia. People just can't get it on with humans anymore over there. They've taken to technology. They're getting it on with cars these days. So sorry, South Korea. According to the owner of the car, this woman witnessed a man kissing and touching her Tesla for 3 hours before he ran away when she finally approached to get inside the vehicle. I don't know what's more disturbing, this guy kissing and touching a car for 3 hours, or this woman watching him kiss and touch her car for 3 hours. What's wrong with you, lady? Would you have some popcorn and just sit there and, this is interesting. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he's going to hit that Easter egg on the car. How do you watch this guy molest your car for 3 hours? What's wrong with you, man? I'd call the police after 10 minutes. I'd shoot video for 10 minutes, too, to get the evidence, and then I'd call the police. Maybe I'll pepper spray him at some point, too, because, you're going to molest my Honda? You're going to get pepper sprayed, baby. Nobody molests my girl. Okay, they also interviewed the husband who said, this guy kissed our Tesla, fingered it for 3 hours, and ran off only when my wife approached to get inside the car. I don't know why I gave this South Korean guy a southern accent. That was kind of weird. I don't think people in South Korea talk like, this guy just fingered my car for he fingered it for 3 hours. That's kind of odd, too. How do you finger a Tesla? Just sticking his finger in the door crevices or in the, well, they don't have a tailpipe, thankfully. I mean, then he probably would have upgraded from the fingering to you-know-what, the old banana in the tailpipe situation. We can't have that. Was he fingering the EV charging port? I wonder. This means that the wife watched him finger her car for 3 hours, too. Again, so bizarre. This guy, man, really committed, too, for 3 hours. He's definitely a giver. He's like, wow, this car's a tough nut to crack. Really hard to please. 3 hours, and it's not even made a sound. Really slept right through it. The husband's shocked that the guy fingered his car for 3 hours. He doesn't seem that shocked that his wife watched this guy finger their Tesla for 3 hours. I don't know. I keep reading, maybe get a motivation here for this guy. This guy obviously have issues. Sexually pleasing himself with a Tesla. I guess he couldn't wait for the sex bot version to come out, which I believe Elon's working on. And by the way, despite all of the goings on here, this weirdo, he's still not the most bizarre Elon Musk fan I've ever heard of. They're quite odd, these people that like Elon Musk. It says the husband even wondered if the couple should consider taking off the pink wrapping around their Tesla in case it would help prevent these what are called mechanophiliacs from ever doing something similar to their Tesla in the future. So this guy thinks that the pink wrapper is attracting him. Oh, yeah, this car was asking for it with that hot pink wrapper. Oh, I don't think it's the color of your car, man. I think this is a very disturbed individual that no matter what color the car was. I mean, unless your car is wrapped in lingerie here, I mean, I don't think it's really bringing that much attention to it, the fact that it's pink. It says the husband ended the disturbing story with, maybe it'd be best to remove the pink wrap, and I wonder if it was triggering it. It's like some sexy lingerie or something. It probably triggers these mechanophiliacs. Oh, well, it's really cute that, the husband's trying to get to the bottom of these motivations, but, there's no way to even wrap your head around the why. You just have to hope it doesn't happen again. It says, following this strange occurrence, the couple attempted to report it to the police, but they found that, unfortunately, there was no specific charges that could apply to this strange situation. No, they couldn't charge the guy with anything, huh? I guess you could just kind of kiss someone's car for 3 hours. It's South Korea, and it's no problem. I mean, it's someone's personal property that you've left your bodily fluids on. This leads me to believe that he had clothes on because they can't even nail him for indecent exposure. This disturbing incident follows a similar one that occurred just weeks earlier, it says. In late March, a different man was observed engaging in sexual activity with a white Audi car. Recorded footage exposed the man on top of the car's hood, rubbing himself against it before doing the same to the car's front fender. That doesn't feel good. What's wrong with this guy? It's a white Audi too, by the way, which proves it doesn't matter what color the car is, man. These sickos they're gonna hump it. They're gonna hump your bumper. They're bumper humpers. Bumper humpers. That sounds like the name of a band. The fender benders and the bumper humpers. Over 700 Kyles got together in Texas, but it wasn't enough to break the world record. This story's out of Kyle, Texas. How many people named Kyle can fit in one little place? Well, for one Texas city, apparently not enough. We have here an attempt by the city of Kyle, Texas, to break the world record for the largest gathering of people with one name, Kyles. Naturally, Kyle, Texas is an appropriate place for Kyles to gather. They fell short, though, on Saturday, despite over 700 Kyles of all ages turning up at a park in the suburbs. It says it's the suburbs of Austin, so it's near Austin. Kyle, Texas. A total of 706 Kyles all got together. Well, it sounds like they gave it the old college try, but they fell a little short. All the Kyles trying to get together. Very ambitious. They got together in it says a park. I was wondering they just got, hey, let's meet in a field. That was your, was it catered? I'd like to get some details. So how about with this? There had to be some kegs involved, right? I need something. Maybe they broke up into teams and played ultimate frisbee. Got to do something. I don't want to just stand around with my name tag Kyle in the middle of a field all day long. This is why you only got 706 Kyles. You got to make it an event. Have it at a water park, bro, and offer free entry to everyone named Kyle. You'll definitely break the record because all the Kyles are going to show up for the free entrance into a water park. I don't think this was planned by the right person, which is clearly me. Okay, so only 706 Kyles showed up. I wonder what would happen if you went to one of these and I would like to just go and yell out, "Yo, Kyle!" Just see what happens. I mean, do they all look at you? Some look at it. Gets to the point where they just stop responding to the name Kyle at some point. You're probably wondering, what is the largest gathering of people with the same first name? Well, the crown, the record, is currently held by a town in Bosnia that got 2,325 people named Ivan together in 2017. This is officially recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest gathering of people with the first name. It's Ivan, apparently. 2,325. That seems like it would be easy to beat with, I don't know, a lot of names. Like Mike. Is there a city named Michael? Like Michael, North Dakota? Nah, you don't want to hang out in North Dakota. Maybe there's a Michael Beach in Southern California, and then you get as many Michaels as you can. And we just gather on the beach, free margaritas for every Michael, and you could break that record easily. Muhammad would do it. There's more Muhammads in the world than any other name. I think like a quarter of the males in the Muslim world are named Muhammad. I believe that you couldn't fight if Muhammads wanted to have this record and own this record. They would easily do it with just one phone call. This says it's not the first time the Kyles have come gunning for the Ivans. They've been trying to break this record now for a while. Last year, the official count at what has become known as the Gathering of the Kyles clocked in at 1,490. So 1,500 last year, 700 this year. Man, these Kyles better get their crap together. Oh, man. 2025 is close, man. It's right around the corner. Get it together, Kyles. Half as many people as last year. So they get together in this place called Kyle, Texas, which is about 37 miles south of Austin, in case you're wondering. Kyle is not a chart topper among popular names in the U.S., in case you're wondering. According to the Social Security Administration, which annually tracks the names given to girls and boys in each state, the most recent data showed that Kyle actually ranked 416th among male names. By comparison, Ivan is ranked 153. Oh, this must be worldwide. Clearly, Muhammad's going to be number one, though. We don't even have to check, guys. It's definitely going to be number one. I'd imagine John is up there, too. Do they have a list of the most annoying names? We should have these. Why don't these guys get together? Like everyone named Brad, Tyler, Tucker, Todd. Like, have them get together. Just give them free Monster Energies and let them punch each other in the face for the afternoon. That would be a cool gathering. Sorry if your name's Tyler or Brad or Tucker, but you suck. A member of the Taiwan parliament ran away with a bill to prevent its passing. All right, guys, don't give the Republicans any ideas, all right? Running out of the building with a bill. Who are we kidding? It's not like any members of the Congress can even run. They're 107 years old. It says Taiwanese lawmakers encountered a strange incident on Friday when a member of Taiwan's parliament demonstrated some discontent, wasn't pleased, so he simply picked up a bill and started running off with it in order to prevent it from being passed. I love how he thought this would work. What is it, one copy of the bill? Oh, yeah, we can only afford to print the bill one time for the signing of the bill and approval of the bill, and then we can't afford any other copies of it if we... This is ridiculous. I mean, you would think that, like, you know, when things were written on stone and clay tablets, you laws and bills and whatnot, edicts. I think an edict is a thing, right? An edict. You know, like the Ten Commandments written on stone. Did you ever see that Mel Brooks? What is that movie that he has where he's playing Moses, and he's standing on the mountain and he has 3 clay tablets and he's saying, oh, yes, God has given me the 15 commandments. And then there's 3 tablets, 5 commandments on each. I have the 15 tablets. And then one of them falls out of his hands and breaks on the ground. He goes, the 10 commandments is what I have here. This is what this story reminds me of. Like, unless your laws are written on a tablet or in stone, like, how do you only have one copy? One copy. This isn't digitally saved anywhere. The fact that this idiot would think that this is the only copy. If I run out of the building with the bill, no one will ever even know it existed. Wow. I'm amazed. It leads me to believe the members of parliament in Taiwan are just as idiotic as our senators and congressmen that we have here in the United States. Just pure dummies. They're the dumbest people I've ever encountered. They say the dumbest things. A lot of people, you guys send me, often I get articles for the show, and it'll be some politician, some congressman, some senator saying something insane. I won't even cover that story because it's not even weird. It's absolutely normal behavior for congressmen and senators to say insane things that make no sense whatsoever. So I can't even cover them. I can't even consider them weird. Okay, I'm so sorry. Back to the story. I went on a tangent there, as I typically do. It says, on this fateful day, a bitter dispute unfolded over reforms to the chamber as Taiwanese lawmakers shoved, tackled, and beat each other in parliament. Yeah, they have. Have you ever seen the videos of the Asian parliaments? They do get out of control. They actually choke each other and they throw haymakers at each other. They can get very violent. They're very passionate people. This development occurred just days before President-elect Lei Ching-se is set to take office, which is today, Monday. He won January's election without his Democratic Progressive Party attaining a legislative majority. I don't know what any of that means. I was just in Taiwan, though. I don't know what that doesn't really have much bearing on the story. I mean, I didn't meet any members of parliament. I just want to say I was just in Taiwan. I love Taipei. I'll tell you right now, one of the safest cities I've ever stepped in. People don't lock their bikes up. They leave their bike outside their house at night, and they come down in the morning, and the bike is still there. They leave their brand new helmets on the seats of their scooters outside their house, not locked, not tied down. They don't even bring the helmet into the house. They come down in the morning, helmet's still there. I mean, unbelievably honest people. What a safe place. It seems to me like everybody's very reasonable and sweet there. That's my impression of it. It's a place I could totally live if they would let me. All right, some more details here. It's basically a free-for-all. Lawmakers screamed and shoved at each other outside the legislative chamber even before the votes were cast for this bill, apparently. They were very passionate about it. It doesn't say what the bill is about. Let me keep reading and find out what this bill was about. Later, the parliament floor witnessed chaotic scenes. Lawmakers turned to the speaker's seat, jumped onto the tables, pinned down colleagues on the floor. Scuffles broke out all over the place. Meanwhile, this one lawmaker grabbed the bill and ran out. He just ran out the door with it. I'll show you. Oh, you're going to show us? Yeah. Hey, Jason, you want to email us that bill? Because Bob just ran off with it. That problem solved. Hey, and by the way, let's pass a bill about stealing bills. Can we pass a bill about stealing bills? Let's not, because, Bob ran off with the only hard copy. We can just we're going to have to print that out and print out the bill about stealing bills. We should include that here. If this guy really wanted to make a lasting impression on how he felt about this bill, he wouldn't have just grabbed it and ran off. He would have grabbed it and ate it right in front of all his constituents. That's how you really send a strong message. And this is what I think of this bill. Yeah? Yay! Pink when I'm licking headlights. Pink. What's that Aerosmith song? Pink is my favorite color, something like that. Yeah, pink's my favorite color. That was a weird episode of Weird AF News. Thanks for spending the time with me. Thanks for sending me articles, everybody. I heard from some people over the weekend. Appreciate you checking in. Some people bought me coffees, too, off my website, weirdafnews.com. That's a place where you can go and support Jonesy and support the show. And we've got some generous individuals here. April and Billy in Siberia. This is, I believe it's Chicago, right? Is that what they call Siberia? Chicago. I've heard this word before. They wrote me a note, too, when they bought me the coffee. It's really sweet. Because you mentioned Keith Sweat, Jonesy, the king of baby-making music, some millennials owe their lives due to his music. Yeah, it's so true, April and Billy. Keith Sweat, we owe a lot to Keith Sweat. Some people owe their lives to Keith Sweat. Really dig Keith Sweat. I have to remind myself, because occasionally I do shows with Arsenio Hall, and whenever I do, he calls me the white, what does he call me? The white R&B boy or something, because I know so much about old school R&B music, and every time I'm hanging out with him, I just grill him about old school R&B artists, because he broke so many artists on his show. Like in the 90s, he broke like Jodeci and bands like that. New Edition, he had a hand in as well. He's friends with all those guys. He's friends with all the New Edition guys. He's really close with Johnny Gill. So whenever I'm doing a show with him, which isn't often, I always in the green room. I just keep grilling him and asking him questions about the R&B artists that he knows, like asking for stories and stuff. But I haven't asked him about Keith Sweat yet, so I need to do that, because I'll bet you he's definitely had Keith Sweat on his show. He must know Keith Sweat. He's probably got some Keith Sweat stories to tell. Anyways, I don't think anyone's interested in this but me. I'm so sorry. I just went on that Arsenio Hall rant. Anyways, April and Billy, then they bought me, April and Billy, you're hilarious. They bought me another coffee, right? And they wrote, another coffee, Jonesy, because we realized it says we are from Siberia. It is no longer cold here. It's hot enough for the upcoming cicada invasion. So they wanted to send me an update on where they're living and what's going on there. It's basically a weather update, so that's helpful. Hey, I'll drink a coffee to hear about your weather. That's the least I could do. Oh, you want to buy me a coffee and tell me how your weather is? By all means. How about all my listeners buy me a coffee and tell me what the weather's like where you're at? So the cicada invasion, is that happening in the Midwest? Where is that happening? I covered it a while ago, and it said it was oncoming, and it's going to be the biggest one ever. I don't know if it's happening now. Maybe it is happening now. It's supposed to be trillions of cicadas. Oh, any of you living in a cicada area? Maybe take a picture and send me the fallout of all that. There must be just dead cicadas laying all over the ground. That's disgusting. And leading up to that, it must have been so noisy with those cicadas just buzzing away. And trillions of cicadas buzzing away, that would drive me crazy. How'd you guys get any sleep? Anyone try and eat a cicada? That's what I really want to know. Did you just dip that bad boy in some chocolate or wrap it in bacon? I bet you it's pretty good. Insects have a lot of protein. They're very healthy. There's a big movement to have insect-related food on menus and whatnot. I've covered that. I've covered this information on the show before. Insects. When I was just in Thailand, in Bangkok, near the comedy club, there's this place called Khao San Road, and it's like a party street. And there's all these people in the road. They're basically barkers from all of the bars and clubs. They're trying to get you to come into their bar. A lot of them are like offering, they have drink specials, so they're holding a sign, come in here, have a bucket, 2 buckets for the price of one or whatever. There's a lot of them have like a sign that says laughing gas, and here they're pushing laughing gas on you too. So they want you to go into their bar, get some booze, get some laughing gas. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. Anyways, there's a lot of vendors selling insects on that street as food. There's like this lady with the scorpions. There's like a stick through the fried scorpion. There's another person with all these crickets and smaller bugs, and they're, and you can eat. You can buy. Obviously, you can buy them and eat them, and then they charge you like a very small fee if you want to take photos with the bugs. Like you can hold the scorpion on a stick and not eat it, and then pay the lady to take a photo with it. So there's a lot of tourists there doing that kind of crap. I didn't try any of the bugs. I wasn't up for it. My stomach was not operating correctly anyways, so I just figured, why eat a scorpion at that point? That's not going to do me any good. Anyways, I just told another stupid personal story on here. Like, for what reason? I don't know. Is any of this entertaining? I have no idea what you guys listen to this for. Some people that I know, they want just the news. They don't want me to say anything else. So... And then there's so sometimes I just, I say the news and I talk about the news. Then sometimes I share stories they must really hate my personal life stories. Oh, goodness, those people? Oh, my goodness. They can't even stand me making an opinion about the news. Well, whatever.